We've seen it all. A rapper goes viral on TikTok, their song dominates YouTube and Spotify, and almost overnight, the headlines start pouring in. Rapper X signs $1 million deal with Atlantic. Their IG blows up, they're iced out in brand new chains, and they're flying first class to LA studio sessions. To the average fan, it looks like they made it. A Cinderella story, told in 808s and in luxury. But behind those headlines is a system that's much more complex and often a lot darker, because that's $1 million deal. It's not a prize, it's a loan. And the reality of being a signed artist can be far more suffocating than it seems. For most rappers, especially those from underprivileged communities, signing to a label is the way out. When you spend your whole life trying to make ends meet and suddenly a label offers you hundreds of thousands of dollars to do what you love, it's hard to say no. Labels promise global reach, professional studios, marketing budgets, press coverage, access to major producers, and the shot at going mainstream. To a hungry, independent artist with no team, that's a godsend. Take Cardi B, for instance. Before she signed to Atlantic Records, she was already buzzing on Instagram and had some traction with her mixtapes. But it wasn't until she signed and she released Bodak Yellow, a global hit that took her from reality TV fame to Grammy-winning rap stardom. Labels can amplify talent and give artists access to platforms they couldn't reach on their own, but they don't do it for free. The advance is often misunderstood by fans and even by some artists. When people hear that a rapper signed a $1 million deal, they think that means the rapper just made $1 million. In reality, that advance is a recoupable loan, meaning that it has to be paid back, not in cash, but through music sales and all other income the label controls. The money is also used to fund your entire career, recording, videos, travel, stylists, features, producers, marketing, everything. So by the time an artist actually sees that money in the personal bank account, it's often a small fraction of the headline number. Megan Thee Stallion famously sued her first label, 1501 Certified Entertainment, alleging that they were taking the majority of her earnings and limiting her ability to release music freely. She said she didn't fully understand the contract when she signed it at the age of 20, and that is more common than most people realize. Advances give artists quick money, but unless you sell big and recoup, you're in debt to the label, and they hold that leverage against you until that debt is clear. In today's industry, most major labels offer what's called a 360 deal, a contract where they take a percentage not just from your music sales, but from your tours, your merchandise, your brand deals, your YouTube revenue, and sometimes even your likeness rights. The idea is that the label is investing in your entire brand, so they should earn from everything you do. But in practice, it often means that the artist ends up with far less control and far less money than expected. NBA YoungBoy, one of the most streamed artists in the world, has been open about his rocky relationship with Atlantic Records. Despite billions of streams, he expressed frustration that he hasn't been compensated fairly, that he could release music on his own terms. His independence from Atlantic came only after years of massive output and contract fulfillment. When the label owns your masters and takes the cuff of everything else, you can incredibly be a successful rapper on paper, but still feel broke and powerless in real life. One of the most crushing realities of signing to a label is not losing control of your creative output. Once you sign, you're not just making money for yourself anymore. You're making it for a boardroom. Labels that can delay your projects, reject your songs, or force you to collaborate with certain artists to align with their strategy. You might be sitting on an album that's finished and ready to go, but the label says, not yet. It's not commercial enough. We need a radio hit. Frank Ocean plays this game in reverse. After signing Def Jam, he strategically fulfilled his contract by releasing the visual album Endless, just so he could independently release Blonde the next day and keep full ownership. That move reportedly made him millions, but it also exposed how calculated you have to beat the system. Most artists never got that chance. They're locked in multi-album deals and can't release anything without label approval. This kind of control can stall a rapper's momentum, kill their buzz, and bury their creativity under marketing strategies and release schedules. The emotional and psychological weight of being signed and stuck in a restrictive deal is something rarely talked about. Rappers, ones who once loved making music, find themselves burnt out, creatively blocked, or publicly frustrated. Social media makes it worse. Fans think artists are being lazy or ungrateful, not realizing that the label is the one holding them back from releases or funds. You're stuck between a public that demands content and a corporation that controls the faucet. Juice WRLD, who tragically passed away at the age of 21, often rapped about the pressures of fame and industry expectations. His work ethic was legendary, hundreds of songs recorded in a short span, but much of it came from trying to keep up with the demands of the system he was in. Similarly, artists like Lil Uzi Vert have gone on record saying that they felt trapped by their label contracts. They wanted to drop music, but they couldn't. That limbo between success and suppression can take a toll on your mental health. While the label is deeply flawed, it's not only the route. Some artists have chosen to go independent from day one, or broken away once they built leverage. Russ is a textbook example. He dropped music every week for years on SoundCloud, built a loyal fan base, and handled all his production, mixing, mastering, and distribution. By the time labels came calling, he already had leverage. He signed a partnership deal, not a traditional contract, and kept ownership of his masters. That decision alone allowed him to make him millions while maintaining full control. Larry June is another example. Known for his smooth delivery and independent hustle, he built a self-sustaining career by staying consistent and controlling every aspect of his brand. But independence is easy. Without a label, you are the manager, the marketer, the tour planner, the budget holder. You don't have the upfront cash or connections, but you keep what you earn, and you answer to no one. Signing to a label isn't automatically selling your soul, but it is giving up something: ownership, freedom, or future revenue. And most artists don't understand the long-term consequences until it's too late. The industry presents a dream: fast fame, big money, global exposure, but that is often financed by your own labor, your rights, and creativity. Some artists win the game, some outsmart the system, but many get chewed up and forgotten. So if you're an artist or just a fan, ask yourself, would you take the deal if it meant lose control? Or would you rather build slower, but on your own terms? That's the real choice behind every record contract.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
Mega!